Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you how to prepare corn, Akamu, pap, ogi from scratch. You know, when you have a toddler in the house, or you want to commence supplementary feeding, you'll see that you need corn. If not, your money will finish on cereals you bought outside, processed ones. So I had to, buy this, and I've already, removed the chaff, the dirt, debris as much as I can. All these other ones are going to be, washed out from the water. They're going to float. But the stones, the spoiled ones, I've removed them because that's what's going to make your corn to have a bad smell, or not to smell so good, because I don't usually like my pap having any smell or odor. So I like removing the bad seeds and then before I soak it. So we're going to soak it for 3 days, and I'm going to just wash it, and we're going to cover it and keep washing it for the next 3 days. So this is my toddler joining me. This is what we moms used to pass through. I pick them back. Good girl. All right, let's go. So the first step in making pap is to wash your corn very well. So as the water is flowing in, as you can see, I'm going to allow the water to get above the level of the corn. I do this so that the debris remaining on the chaff that came with the corn will float on top of the water, and I'll be able to wash it out easily. So these 6 congos of corn that I'm using, so I think it's like up to 1 pint of corn or thereabout or more. So that's it. So this is the debris I'm talking about, and we are just going to sieve it out using a sieve. Then the main washing will start up. So that's it, guys. So I'm going to now pour in water and start washing it out. I like washing it out because I don't want any stones lying settling in the bottom, like being in the corn in any way. And it's important to note that as I'm washing it out, you don't need to, in the whole process of making the pap, you make sure your corn is not contaminated by salt, because it affects the texture and outcome of the whole thing, whether in the water, whether in the container. So that's one thing to make sure of, even as you avoid the stones. So here it is, guys, fully washed out. So I'm going to just pour in everything back, and then I'm going to add water. So I decided to show you some of the stones so that you see what I'm talking about. So ensure you wash yours well, so you will be able to remove the stones in it. So this is going to be our day 1. Once you are done washing and soaking it like this, I'll cover it and leave it, and this counts as day 1. So guys, this is the next day, and you can see the fermentation process has started. And I'm going to still wash it out like I did yesterday, and I'm going to still pour it back in and then let it be till the following day. So people actually do this for 3 to 4 days, so anyone you want. So this is the 3rd day, guys. You see the fermentation process is almost complete, like everywhere, and you will notice when you do it yourself, you will notice a sweet sour smell, that kind of thing. I don't know how to say, but it tastes like wine. If it smells like wine, like palm wine. If you're from Africa, you understand. So I'm going to just wash it out, and I'm going to be grinding it later in the day. So if I wash it out, I'm washing it out twice. So after that, you just wash it out. You don't need to soak it in again. Normally, when you are ready to go to the mill to grind, is when you wash it out, so that your corn won't stay and be stale. You understand what I'm talking about? So guys, I'm at the mill, and this is the industrial engine they use. You can also use your blender at home, your high power blender, and she blended it twice. So make sure you find somebody that maintains hygiene. Like I like the person I use, because she has a different equipment for the dry and the wet foods, and she does it very well. So she blends it twice for me, and my pap is ready. So guys, we are back home, and this is the setup we are going to be using for this next stage. So we're needing chiffon clothes and another thicker cloth, which we will use later on. So I'm going to briefly show you how to tie up this chiffon clothes, which we'll be using for the sieving. So you can get it in the market where you're buying corn. Just ask around the clothes you use for sieving the pap. So it usually comes in the shape of a pillowcase. So I made a slit on one side, and I'm going to turn it inside out and then tie it with the help of a rope. So it's important that anything that you bring out, like this rope, I dedicated it specially for this purpose, for processing my corn for my pap. So I'll make sure it's not contaminated in any way. So I'm just going to tie it around the container to make it tight, and to make sure the membrane, that's our clothes, is now giving us a very taut or smooth surface, so that it will be, it will make the process easier for me. So I'm going to tie it and give it some pull around the corners, and that's it. Actually, this is another video showing I made while I was making other paps like in the past. So I just decided to bring it so it'll be convenient for us. So that's it, guys. That's how to set up. You can use the bath, anything you want to use, just that this is what I have available and I make use of it. So guys, we are back to the present. Yes, so a little story for you guys, the basketballs that happened. I was still trying to sieve when suddenly I saw my daughter putting something inside the pap. You can imagine that, like, I didn't even see it coming, and just forget about what happened later on. We just tried to make sure the pap wasn't contaminated, the book was, you know, kept at a safer place, and that's it. Yeah, Zabi. So guys, so when you onto your membrane, I like to call it a membrane because my mom calls it osmosis. So onto the clothes, you're going to just pour in your pap. You can see how smooth this pap is. So when you go to the mill, they blend it twice using that commercial engine till the texture is smooth, and it's just twice she blends it. But if you're using your own blender at home, you can, like, you just have to monitor it to know when it has given you this kind of consistency or when it has grounded it. So guys, once you pour it in, you just begin to sieve. And you can see here I'm trying to check to know how far I've come, if I've been able to, you know, sieve out my pap very well. So as in a rotational manner, I'm just going to be turning the pap on the cloth and be adding water, so the water makes it able for the pap to go through the cloth. And that's the osmosis we're talking about. Biology students in the house, give me a hi in the comment section, you know that. So you guys are going to continue adding water gradually till we are able to get out the chaff. And how you know that the chaff is ready or that you finish bringing out the whole pap is when you're able to squeeze out something, like as you see here. Before, you'll be slippery in your hands, but by the time you continue pouring water and sieving out, you'll see that you are getting chaff in your hands, and you know that you are done processing the corn for that for that particular quantity. So I'm just going to be putting the chaff into a makeshift container or bin that I made, and I'm going to repeat the process. You can see the pap is smudged. So I have to get going. So I'll just do this and then we'll continue what we are doing. So if you have any questions so far, any comments, anything, just let me know in the comment section. And if you've tried this in the past, let me know how your own came out. And also guys, subscribe if you've not subscribed to my channel. It means a lot to me. It helps us to grow. And give this video a like if you like what you've seen. Also, if you have any other additional things to, you know, say about the process in a better way, just let us know too, so that we'll learn together. So I said I'm going to film this section because as you keep pouring the water, the bucket will get full. So what do? Do you panic? No. As I said, I have 2 chiffon clothes, so I'll just tie the other one on the next bucket and start sieving like on the setup I had already. I'll make it into another bucket and continue. Or you can also pour in pap into the water that is already in the bucket. You don't need to add extra water, and you sieve it inside. So it's not really easy if you are doing this for the first time. So I'll prefer or advise that you just, you know, make the buckets into 2 and you continue sieving. So this is the next day, guys. So, and this is where we'll be using the other material we have. This is an old pillowcase I dedicated to just this pap processing. And after leaving your pap to stand for the whole night, this is what you will see, a decant that is up and your pap settling down. So using the clothes, you're just going to put it inside a clean bucket or container, and then after sieving out, like decanting the water I showed you above, we'll now pour the pap into the clothes. And this to allow the water to sieve it. What the water and the clothes does is to allow the water to, you know, press out the water from it. So we are going to do it in 2 ways. So this is my grandma helping me out. So I have a gist for you guys. I want to shock you guys that this pap you're seeing like this is ready to be drunk, like ready for eating and consuming, and it's fresh, neat pap with the natural taste and no smell. So we just quickly poured out little that we will use for that morning, and ooh la la, our pap is ready. You don't need to add any water, just hot water, and you are good to go. So that's it, guys. After pouring everything into the clothes, anyway, you can also use the same cloth you used in sieving for this same process. The lighter the clothes, the better. So we are just going to give it a tie, like to tie it up, so in a way that the water will be squeezed out. That's the essence of the whole thing. Some people tie it up and then cover it with a tray and place a huge stone over it. I don't know if you've seen that. Maybe our grandmas did it then, our mothers did it then. This to just aid the process. But me, I'm just going to tie it up. As you can see, we'll just tie it up, and then I'll show you something so that the water that is coming out won't be making contact with it. We placed a bowl under it, so that as the water is coming, it's just getting to the bottom of the bucket. And we are going to leave this for, say, till evening or the next day, like till it's hard. You will just keep touching it, say many hours after, till it's hard. And so the next day, guys, I did mine. I opened it the next day, and you can see how hard it is. These are pap. Voila. Who's loving what you are seeing here? I'm using nylons, transparent nylons, to just tie it, and I do it in such a way that is convenient for me. So I'm just going to put a handful of pap into each, and I'm going to tie it up. So I got up to 30 pieces or portions from this, so that I can easily just bring out one in the morning and just make, and I'm not done. I don't need to wait for anything to defrost. So that's it, guys. I just love this because at a time I didn't know how to make pap, but now I'm now pro. can enjoy this with okpa. So I'll be dropping in the description the link to making it. Thanks for watching, guys.